I'm here at North Cascades National Park here in Washington. This is a free, you heard me, free national park, incredible value. I happen to think that this is an undiscovered gem and one of the nicest national parks in the entire country. Let's go check it out. Starts with another one of these park walk tent only zones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go down and take a look at the campsites. Okay, so here's campsite 1. There's your tent pad. Be advised, you're right beneath the day parking for Thunder Knob Trailhead right up above me. In fact, hear a car driving by on the highway right above me, behind me. So let's keep going. This is the park walk in tent only bay of 1 through 6. So 1, again, is right underneath the Thunder Knob Trailhead parking near the bridge. So you're gonna hear a lot of road noise on 1. 1 separated from 2 through 6. So it's a little bit of a trade-off as far as the privacy. And we will continue along. Okay, so here's site 2. You got your bear box, fire pit, picnic table, and over here's site 3. So not good privacy lines, bear box, fire pit. Over here's 4. So at least you're closer to Diablo Lake, but again, not the best privacy lines. We'll walk into 4 just so you get a little better vantage point. Here's picnic table, fire pit, bear box, and then there is your tent pad. Very interesting. Here's our lake, and here's 5. So here is site 5. That's our trail to 1, 2, 3, 4. Come over here. You can see the 5 on the side of the bear box. There's 4 next to you, so not the best privacy lines with 4. Here's your fire pit. Here's your tent pad. Tent pad's pretty impressive vis-a-vis location to Diablo Lake. I will say on the other side of Diablo Lake is the main highway, so you'll see cars going to Ross Lake over there, the Ross Dam area. Here's our main centralized trail. This is interesting. This is the main central trail for your park and walk in for this initial bay. And again, there's site 5. And you come down here. This is communal, so this is for this entire park walk and tent only zone. And look at this, my friend, a gorgeous section of Diablo Lake. Oh, this is beautiful. This is a vast shoreline. You got a bridge over there, so you will see cars going across the way. So we enjoy the beautiful Diablo Lake. Let's hike back. So this is the communal trail for this initial park walk-in tent-only camping zone. I think 5 is the best position as far as this campsite group, although it's also the most exposed. Everybody walking by this is walking right by your tent. So, except that this is a trade-off where you're giving up your privacy for lake proximity. That said, if you can grab 5 because of that money shot viewpoint of Diablo Lake, I think it's probably a pretty good trade-off. So, I'd say 5 is pretty legend. Everywhere 1 through 5 is kind of the same situation as far as poor privacy for lake proximity. So it's a very certain style of eclectic camping. Some people love it, some people don't. If you're a private party, family, you want more of a private, secluded experience, I probably wouldn't even do the park walk and tent only model. It's not really for you, but for certain types of people, especially a big group, it's a party. And let's continue along. So this is interesting. This bay shows 1 through 6. 1 through 5 were to the right. Here's some steps. I'm thinking these steps might take us to 6. Be very careful going down these steps. You could easily tumble, especially if you're carrying like camping gear. It could be very dangerous if you're carrying an igloo and you're not watching your stepping, your footing, and before you know it, you hurt yourself. So we'll come down here, it's like to 6. 6 is kind of its own thing. So 6 is looking pretty special. Again, 1 through 5 is to my right. And then look at 6. 6 is amazing. I am digging 6. That tent pad straight ahead, that is for 5. Then here is 6. Picnic table, fire pit. This is nice. And then you have your own private secluded access to Diablo Lake. I am falling in love with 6, man. This is a hidden gem. This is a treasure, my friend, a treasure. I'm digging this. Let me walk over here and look at that, my friend. Absolutely spectacular. Oh man. So I actually am really digging 6. It's kind of funny, I went and did Colonial Creek South first. I assumed that was better, but I'm actually already starting to like the north side better. Keeping it real, I like the view of the lake better. So I might be more of a north fan than a south fan. So again, that's your bear box, your fire pit, your picnic table. 6 is very special because it's separate. Okay, so let me break this down. When you first get to Colonial Creek North Campground, the first 6 are walk-in tent only, where you park and carry your gear to your campsite. On the right is 1 through 5. 5 is the best of those, and there's a communal access point for all 5 down to the shoreline of Diablo Lake. Ironically, 6 is separated by itself with its own stone-stepped path. Be careful going down if you're carrying heavy things, but this is where you come to. This is your own private site. You do have 5 over here. You can see the tent pad right there. So 5 is near you. I don't mean to make it sound like it's like way off by itself, but it definitely has the best privacy lines. So far 6 is my favorite play. It's got its own private side access to Diablo Lake. It's a money shot of the North Cascades National Park. So far 6 is the best out of north and south, in my humble opinion. It's a walk-in tent only. 5 is also very good, but you have some privacy issues because it's right next to the main access point for all 5 sites. People will be walking by you, but you got to accept your trade and the privacy for the premium lake access. So let's continue along. So this is the path we came down to 6. See those stone steps, so just be careful if you bring like your igloo cooler or whatever it is and everything, that you just are very careful coming down this, because you could easily take a header and that would spoil your trip. So we'll go up here and continue our campground review. So here's the parking for walk-in tent only 1 through 6 on the lakeside, on Diablo Lake side. Here's 7. It's an inner, not up against the lake, kind of a dirty forest section, I call it. Nothing special. I probably wouldn't do that one. I will pan back just for bearings. That's the opening of the campground. So I wouldn't do 7. Nothing special about it. Let's continue along. So far 6 is my favorite and 5 is my second favorite. I'm particularly excited about 6. I think that's worthy of remembering, my humble opinion. Okay, so here we are at site 8. It's car camping style. We're away from the walk-in tent only. Here's our general campground. There's a restroom across the way, just for bearings. So you park here and you've got your picnic table, fire pit, and bear box. Look at the views of Diablo Lake straight ahead. So you got views right from your picnic table, I appreciate. Kind of a weird site, because you'll see it's actually very steep right here. It's your own little side trail down to what I believe is an access point for Diablo Lake, so I will take this. So look at how steep that is. So if you have little kiddos, I probably wouldn't do this. Be very careful with alcohol. If you want to practice situational awareness, you got your picnic table, fire pit, bear box over there. Pretty cool little root system right here. And then let's check out our private shoreline access. This is the domain of campsite 8. This is not communal. This is your backyard for site 8. My read of it. And lo and behold, my friend, look at this. This is gorgeous. This is your own private shoreline access from campsite 8. And look at the beautiful Diablo Lake. Oh, this is magic. This is absolute magic. Look at that. That is the bridge going over towards Ross Dam and Ross Lake. You can see you got a vast shoreline and a money shot of the beautiful North Cascades National Park and Diablo Lake. Oh, this is gorgeous. Let's continue along this way. I'd be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to come on down, experience the beauty that is Diablo Lake. I'm actually very surprised. I didn't realize the north side of Colonial Creek was this beautiful. I thought for sure I'd like the south side better, but now that I'm here, I actually like the north side better. This is more my jam. I'm a north Colonial Creek guy, not a south Colonial Creek guy. Just realized that in real time. Look at this. This is gorgeous. Probably the most beautiful sight is straight ahead. Just the framing of this canyon, and it's just kind of alpine lake National Park Wonderland zone is pretty darn magical. I mean, look at this. I am falling in love with North Cascades National Park and Diablo Lake in real time. This is a really high quality beach, very beautiful. It's April 30th, 2025, a bit cold, kind of craving a good swim, but that would be ill-advised right now. It's like in the 30s, maybe low 40s. Very cold. With wind, it's actually like in the high 20s almost. So it's darn cold, but it feels great. very beautiful, refreshing, crisp, nippy air. I'm digging it. I'm loving it. And look at how absolutely incredible and beautiful this is, my friend. This right here is why you come and stay at Colonial Creek North Campground here at Diablo Lake, North Cascades National Park, great state of Washington. Absolutely beautiful, my friend. So that was the shoreline walk from Site 8. We're gonna go back to Site 8. I gotta say, I'm figuring out in real time that I'm more of a fan of Colonial Creek North Campground than South Campground, which is actually a surprise because I thought for sure I would like South better. South has definitely got more sites. Kind of is always the perception from my point of view, looking at online, that it had more shoreline sites. But I just did the South one first, and I was a little underwhelmed by how jam-packed the sites were up against the shoreline in double and triple wishbone scenarios with absolutely no privacy lot lines whatsoever. Kind of a mosh pit communal camping area, and that's not my kind of camping. I like to bring my family and have a little bit more privacy. So coming over here to the north side, North Colonial Creek Campground, I'm already enjoying it more, falling in love with it. So you never know. I have what I call my own two eyes doctrine, and that is you never really know an area till you go visit it. No matter how fastidious of a planner, kind of on the OCD side like myself, spending hours trying to fastidiously plan something, you never really know until you go there. So that's why I call it my own two eyes doctrine. Like, it's good to do some front end research, but don't ever assume that all your research online is infallible, because invariably when you actually physically go to the area, your understanding of the area dramatically changes. So that's again what I'm experiencing here at Colonial Creek Campground, north and south. See how steep it is to go back up to 8. This is why I wouldn't recommend young kiddos for 8. Also would be careful with the alcohol, because that is a accident waiting to happen if you're not being careful. But that said, your access from 8 is legit. So 8, legend, good lot lines. I think 8 and 6 are both where dreams are made. And let's go on to 9. Just for lot lines, so there's 8 and here's 9. You got your Thunder Knob Trail coming out of this area, so if you stay here, I would absolutely take advantage and do Thunder Knob Trail. I think it's like 1.8 miles, 600 and some odd feet elevation, nothing too crazy. Here's 9. You got your parking, you got great shade. I want to point that out, the great shade, protect you if it rains. You got your fire pit, picnic table, bear box. You got your tent pad, and I'm not seeing anybody next to you. Oh man. So let me look over. There's 8. So it's not like the perfect privacy lot lines from 8 to 9. Serviceable, better than Colonial Creek South. That I can definitely tell you, having just walked all the sites over at Colonial Creek South. So let me come down here. And you absolutely do have your own private shoreline access, and here we are. So from 9, you can come down, and it's kind of a vast beach, more of a communal beach. So I'm not saying this whole thing's the domain of 9, quite the contrary, my friend, but at least you can come down here, see? And now here we are, looking straight ahead. So 9 does have its own little circuitous route to the shoreline of Diablo Lake. Now see, we're back at 9. So 8 and 9 are legit. If you can get 8 and 9 together, now you've taken over this whole swath of forest shoreline. So 8 and 9 together is like the best play here so far. But so far I liked 5 and 6. 6 is the best of the park walk-in tent only. 5 is second best. I liked 8 and 9 as far as car camping. And we will continue along. You got 8 and 9 over there. Here's your Thunder Knob Trail. There's your Spigot. Thunder Knob Trail appears to be this straight ahead with the rocks on both sides. There is a picnic table, presumably like a day use site for people doing Thunder Knob, like maybe tie your shoes type thing. And then here is, it looks like a general community access point to the shoreline of Diablo Lake. So that's public access as well. So there are people that are not camping at Colonial Creek North Campground that will be accessing that from the Thunder Knob, kind of wanting to take a look at the lake before they leave. 14, it's an inner. You got your picnic table, fire pit. You got your tent pad. You can hear behind me the loud trucks. You got trucks on their way to Ross Lake and Ross Dam going through this North Cascades National Park zone. So even though it's a little annoying in the background, I think it's good, frankly, for you to hear it so you understand that this is not a pristine pin drop quiet zone. You will hear the car noise. So that was 14, inner, low quality, don't like it. 15, park here on the shoulder. 15 doesn't look special to me. You got, for some reason, 2 bear boxes. Bear box I think is the proper term for plural. And you got your picnic table, fire pit, and you got your tent pad. You got very loud trucks, and that's gonna happen constantly while you're here. So again, not pin drop quiet. You see that rocky trail over there? That is the Thunder Knob Trail. So you're gonna have strangers moseying, meandering on by there the entire time. So for me, that's a deal breaker because 15's got no breakage in line of sight. There's no reason to be a 15. You're not against the lake and you're right up against the trail. So that's not good. Okay, so 16's eclectic. It's interesting, but I'm not sold. You basically park right there. There's your little sign. Here's your fire pit. Here's your bear box. You come up here, a little bit of a eclectic design. Some people will get a kick out of it, but it's an inner and it's not against the lake. Here's your tent pad. Here's your picnic table. Picnic table does a good shade. There's obviously a bear box up there to somewhere else. And it looks like there's some up there. So you are surrounded. It doesn't have the privacy. You're not against the lake. I'd much rather be like 8 or 9 or 5 or 6. So I'm not feeling this one. So we got 17 to 19 that way and 20 to 44 that way. Keep going as in order as we can. So we'll go this way. So there's the sign for 17 and 19. Here's the sign for 17. I think it's this one, kind of weird. You got the road over there and then drive up here. This is an inner. I call these camping in the dirt. This is dirty forest, nothing special. You got your bear box, picnic table, fire pit. It's like no tent pad. You put your tent up there though. Clearly they got a little flat spot up there for it. So what's the point of being here? Not to be mean, but there's nothing special about this. This is cut and paste generic forest. You can get this anywhere in Oregon or Washington. No reason to be at 17. To me, the value proposition of North Cascades National Park is Diablo Lake and Ross Lake and the magical wonder features of the area. So if you're gonna come here, I would personally really try to be on the shoreline of Diablo Lake because that's kind of the whole point. So a site like 17 is like, I call it constellation camping. You just need a base camp to be in the area, but you're not really looking for a destination campsite or everything was booked or whatever. So here's 18, same deal as 17. Picnic table, fire pit, good shade, nice long driveway, bear box. You got the Camp Road all the way around your site. You do have, oh, you see that picnic table right there? That was 16. It's harder to see 18 from 16, but from 18 you can see 16, so not good. You got a site there. Again, inner. Generally the outer, which are up against the feature, like 5, 6, 8, 9, that's always gonna be your premium. The inners, the inner loop, are kind of the consolation sites that don't really have anything going for them. Here's 19. Drive up here. Again, we're getting farther and farther away from Diablo Lake. Makes it more and more kind of generic. The forest right ahead, that looks pretty. Let me stop here and pan back. So we got some gorgeous foliage, good shade. Picnic table, fire pit, bear box. Fire pit on the left there. You can see a bear box straight ahead, so there's another site right next to you. Put your tent right there. Ooh, see, this is the sardine thing. See another one down there. That is 17. So 17, meet your new close trusty friend 19. There's 18, you can see the bear box. So not a fan. There's also a bear box up there. That's for the upper loop. So you're familiar with the term triangulated. That would be the site 19. So I wouldn't do 17, 18, 19. I went and did Colonial Creek South Campground first, And that final loop, 144 to 164, was not good. It was kind of like 17, 18, 19. It was all like generic, nondescript inner sites with nothing going for them, just base camp sites like Constellation Camping. You know, hey, if you want to be at North Cascades National Park, you want to be able to say you camped at Colonial Creek, then you're checking those boxes. But is it a destination worthy site? Probably not. Keeping it real in the greater scheme of high quality campsites, they are pretty generic, cut and paste. I'll tell you how I really feel. So let's keep going. So now we have through 44 this way. This will be really our final loop, and then we're done with. North is smaller than south. Here's 20, nice long driveway, stop at the log, picnic table, fire pit. You will see right here, you got a little side path to 17, and 17's right over there. I don't like how close the picnic table is to the end of your parking. Again, bear box, fire pit. Come back here, put your tent in the tent pad. So that's nice prominent tent pad. Lo and behold, look up there. It's another tent pad. I believe that's a different site. So yeah, that's that site over there. Not good privacy lines. So deal breaker for me. I wouldn't do 20, keeping it real. But you do you, boo. There's 21, bear box. On the right is the nice long driveway, stop at the log, picnic table, tent pad, fire pit here on the left. So not a lot of square footage, claustrophobic already. Right when I come in here, I like, okay, I got nowhere to go. Like here, I'm already done. See, this isn't a high quality section of forest you want to play in. Kind of nothing going on for it. So claustrophobic inner, dirty forest generic, no thank you. Moving on to the next one. I'm blown away by 8 and 9 and 5 and 6. I feel like that cluster of 4, kind of the most exciting thing happening at this campground, but we'll go through it all. 23, park here, up against this log, picnic table, fire pit. See, where do you put your tent? Straight ahead. Oh, you got your bear box in right here. Yeah, you have to put your tent right here, claustrophobic. Not much square footage, my friend. I don't think you want to put it down there. It's a little weird. So you put your tent, oh no, I'm wrong. You put your tent right there. So it is a little Swiss Family Robinson, that's cool. You got a tent pad, but you got your friend right above it. See that picnic table? So eclectic. You got an elevated tent pad. Careful in the morning coming down there because you could tumble. But 23 is interesting. They have 20 and 21 down there. Then they have 22 here, but then they have 23 there. So a little out of order, but that's okay. Here's 22. Here's your parking, picnic table, bear box, fire pit. Oh man. You come up here, let's do it. A little steep, but you walk up here and you got your elevated tent pad. I'd like that. Up against forest. But so okay, let's see here. You put your tent right here, but wah, wah, wah. You got 20 right there. Hey, 20. Hey, we ran out of marshmallows. You got any left? So, no good. I don't like them. 22 and 20 are right next to each other. That's a deal breaker for me. So, probably wouldn't do 22. I think that's clear. Not to be mean. I mean, these are all serviceable as a base camp. There's world-class hiking here at North Cascades National Park. I'm a super fan of the national park. I'm a super fan of Diablo Lake. So if you just need to be up here and you're not too worried about the site, you're like, dude, I'm going hiking all day. What do I care if my site's awesome? You don't want to like hang out at the site, then hey, these are all serviceable. 24, road goes up this way. We will bank right here and pretend we're the vehicle. We're parking up against this log. Straight ahead is the picnic table, and then there's the fire pit. Here's our bear box, kind of up against the campground road. We do have our friend's tent pad is right in between those trees straight ahead. That was 23. We have this area, it's like a dry creek bed. I don't know if that's got running water time of year or what, but it's dry right now. Today's April 30th, 2025. Wasn't a super fan of 24, if I'm being honest. I think you want my candor. We got a spigot straight ahead on a la derecha to the right. And got a series of logs here. I don't know if this is meant to be like a parking zone. Typically when you got broken up logs, that indicates parking, but what do I know? Not the best parking, like there's rocks in the whatever, but kind of an interesting area. It feels like there should be running water. Maybe it's a seasonal play. Maybe water flows through there, because that really looks like a water zone. Maybe it only flows different time of year. That's possible. Okay, here's 26. You can see the little brown post, and you park right at the log. Don't forget to brake. And there's your bear box. There's picnic table, fire pit. Ooh, that's a flag on the field. You got your neighbor right there. You got a straight path, bear box, and you can see you got your neighbor right there. You also have the restroom right there. People going to the restroom middle of the night will wake you up. So yeah, no good. Not a fan of 26. That's the problem with inners. Not only are they not up against the feature, in this case Diablo Lake, a lot of times they're paired with another side of the inner. There's another spigot next to 27. Here's our post. Park here. You got your bear box, picnic table, fire pit. I don't know what's going on over here. Oh, that's the next one. That's your neighbor. So here's 27. You're up against the forest road, and then you probably put your tent there. You got your neighbor right there. That's a deal breaker. So again, not digging these inner ones, being honest. It'd be much easier to be like, this is amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm just not gonna do that. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of these are generic campsites, keeping it real. Here's 28, nice long driveway. Yeah, and flat, a particularly good driveway. Gotta give it that. And then you got your bear box on the right, you got your picnic table, you got your fire pit on the left. You are up against the highway straight ahead. I'd probably put my tent straight in front of these trees. Let me pan back and show you the awesomeness of these trees. So put your tent straight ahead, but that's the highway on the other side. A lot of road noise. And then look at this. Wah wah, you got your friend right there. So, and you see these logs right here, that's where they're gonna put their tent. Their tent could be 10 feet from your bear box. So I wouldn't wanna come all the way out here and then be sardined with my stranger neighbor. Not my idea of idyllic. So to each his or her own. Let's continue along. There's 29, nice long driveway. They're collecting the downfall for the season, so that's good that that's there. They're gonna get rid of it. We're not open right now, so don't hold that against them. That's not their fault. It's actually good they're collecting that for cleanliness and forest management. Here's your bear box, here's your picnic table, there's your fire pit. Kind of an interesting little log thing here. You could sit there. It's cool. Probably put my tent up there, or up there's a little flat spot. 29's better than the other ones because the way it's situated. It's one of the better ones in this loop so far. Probably the best one in this loop so far. 29. Oh, cool. Here's 30. This is ADA. I love it. Accessible. Let's go take a look. Nice paved parking. And there's picnic table, bear box, your grill. It's actually got 2 fire stations, dig that, and you can put a tent straight ahead. I will say, being critical, it doesn't have good lot lines with their friend over there. When I was over at the other one, I was like, ooh, you flag on the field, you got this one. So that's a strike against it. A very big plus is you got the restroom right there. So I like that the restroom accessibility is top notch. It's well paved, great for accessibility, so I like it. Accessibility play, 30 seems legit. I do like this one, but again, probably my one ding is your neighbor right there is unreasonably unnecessarily close for what reason I do not know. So here's 31. You got your bear box, you park here, picnic table, fire pit. Nice cute little section of forest, good shade. You can put your tent straight ahead. I will advise straight up there is actually the highway, so you'll have cars zooming by, going to Ross Lake, Ross Dam all day up there. So right across from the bathroom. I don't know, man. Not my cup of tea, but serviceable. Base camp. I think it all depends on what you're looking for. Here's the spigot between 31 and 32. If you're looking for a destination site, the only ones like that here are 8, 9, 5, and 6. I think the rest are not. If you're looking for a serviceable base camp to explore North Cascades National Park, then all of these work. So it's all just a matter of frame of reference. Or the lens by which you're analyzing. 32. Here is your nice long driveway. That's legit. Great shade, picnic table, fire pit on the left, and your bear box right there. You could put your tent straight ahead. Again, you've got the highway up there. So you got constant cars going above you and road noise. Not idyllic pin drop quiet. If that's what you seek. Probably shouldn't be at either of the Colonial Creek sides of the campground, north or south, because you happen to be right up against the highway, which takes you to the Ross Lake area. So, and the noise of all of the trucks and the vehicles carries across the lake. So this isn't a pin drop quiet zone. I think we just have to accept that. Here's 33, park here. Ooh, really nice long driveway. Might be good for an RV if you're okay to back out. Really nice, pretty section of forest. Let me pan back. Yeah, that's one of the higher quality. Sometimes you walk into a campsite, you instantly feel like you're somewhere special, that feng shui. Well, I'm getting that from this one. You got your bear box, you got your fire pit, there's your picnic table. Kind of well spread out. Again, you've got your highway going right by there, so you will have car noise, but really well shaded, high quality section of forest. I will say you got your neighbors right there and a side path to them. So the campground giveth, the campground taketh away. Yet again. I feel like every time I'm starting to build up to the idea that it's a good site, like I see some sort of major malfunction with their major ding. But that was 33. And here is 35. They could have just skipped. They skip a lot around here. Yeah, 36. I just don't think there is a 34. Who needs a 34? That's what I'm saying. Park here. I don't know, I guess put your tent straight ahead or over there. You got a couple places to put your tent. You can put your tent straight ahead. That's probably the best spot, so you're shading away from your friend over here, because 33 was right there, and you can see the little side trail. You can see their fire pit. So you could put your tent there, but I wouldn't recommend it. Put my tent up here, picnic table, fire pit, bear box. You come up here. Yeah, put your tent right there. You can hear a vehicle driving by as we speak, just so you know I'm not woofing. So let's keep going on 35. Next to 36, here's pretty steep driveway actually. Like Mini Coopers need not apply. Probably too steep for like a Miata, but most vehicles, Subaru above would definitely be fine. Here's your long driveway, bear box, picnic table, fire pit. It's definitely an inner, kind of in the center of the campground here. Interesting. Put your tent right there for sure. This is what I often refer to in my campground reviews as dirty forest. Like it's kind of pretty, but there's nothing special about this. Like this is generic cut and paste. It's not pristine. It's not idyllic. You could get this anywhere. You can go to the Gifford Pinchot National Forest and get that. So, you know, you're looking for differentiation. If you're going to bother coming all the way up to North Cascades National Park, which is worth doing and is a premium national park, and I think it is worth bothering to come up here, but you don't want to settle for a generic Gifford Pinchot National Forest style site. Here's 37. By the way, speaking of Gifford Pinchot National Forest, I have reviews of Paradise Creek, Panther Creek, Moss Creek, and Oklahoma available on my channel, and there are some actually really premium sites at those. So you put your tent there, fire pit, picnic table, bear box, right up against the highway again. It's got a nice long driveway. I'm getting strong Gifford Pinchot National Forest vibes from some of this. Very Washington. Here's 38. And you park here. Decent driveway. Good shade. Bear box, picnic table, fire pit. I don't like that it's a clean line of sight to your friend over there. So that's a deal breaker for me. Again, kind of generic forest. Not up against the feature, nothing going for it. I wouldn't do 38. I know I'm sure I'm broken recording it at this point. There's your spigot straight ahead, past 38. I'd say this inner loop, just like 144 to 164 over at the Colonial Creek south side, is like the worst side. So a lot of these are pretty generic, keeping it real. Here's our cluster of 39, 40, 41. We'll go to 39 first. Ooh, this one's got the feng shui going for it. I instantly was like, heard angels. Nice long driveway, good for an RV. Picnic table, fire pit, bear box, great shade. You can put your tent right here. So this is the best one I feel like so far. You do have your friend over there, but that's decent lot lines. pretty far away. There's a trail between them. This is a pretty good one. You do have the highway straight ahead, so you will hear and see cars. But that said, unusually good shade at 39, and it has a vastness, a grandness. Let me come back here and pull back. See what I'm talking about? It's got epicosity. It ranks on the epicosity scale. So 39 is legit. And here's 40. So park here, picnic table, fire pit, burr box on the left, bird hanging out. He probably won't be here if you come. You have to put your tent straight ahead. This is claustrophobic AF. Very low square footage, very low square footage. This is a 10 by 10 cell. So look at this, there's nothing. And you got your friend right across the way. Oh, this is horrible. I do not recommend this one. 40 is no bueno. Terrible lot lines with the people on the other side of you. Low square footage, you're trapped. You really only have one choice to put your tent there. 40 is not where dreams are made. I won't use the word nightmare, or will I? 41 is the next one. You park on the right here in front of the post, well shaded. You got your bear box, you got your picnic table. The bird is guiding us now, which I appreciate the service. I will tip him at the end. Put the tent right here. You do have a straight shot to 39 over there, our side trail, so that's suboptimal. Got the road up there, dirty forest, not a lot of exploring. Picnic table right here, I'm standing where you put the tent. I don't know, man, not feeling 41. Not idyllic. Serviceable, yes. Base campy, to explore the area and spend a little time at your campsite, absolutely, but destination worthy, absolutely not. So let's continue along. Here is 42. You park right here. Nice long driveway. Again, we're up against the highway. Highway straight ahead, like an iceberg. And steep driveway. Come up here. I don't know if I'd want to take an RV. It's so steep up here, just FYI. Here's our picnic table, fire pit, bear box. Put your tent straight ahead. You can hear the loud cars because there's highway right above you. So that's an unusually steep driveway. It may not look like it, but it felt steeper than a lot of the other ones. So I probably wouldn't want to do an RV there. Might be a slight issue, worse than you're expecting for 42. So I don't feel like 42 is as RV friendly as it appeared when I walked up to it. Take that for what it is worth. No, well, there's 43 right there. Well, 43 is horrible. It's just a shoulder parking, picnic table, fire pit, bear box. Oh yeah, and then you put your tent up there. 43 is no bueno. That's they tucked it in. I call those revenue grabs. Not a fan. Here's 44. At least this has a proper long driveway. This is a much better driveway than 42's was. Your RV 44 I think is a better driveway than 42. Nice long driveway. Park up to the post. Bear box, picnic table, fire pit. Ooh, you can tell that they kind of want you to put your tent there on the right in between those trees. So that's well crafted. You can see there is a tent straight ahead. So not good lot lines with your neighbor. And there's also one over there. So you got a friend there, a friend there. That's the curse of the inner. You're not up against Diablo Lake. I wouldn't do 44. Last but not least, here's 45, otherwise known as the campground host. There's the sign. You park there. It's the host, so you're probably not gonna be able to book this. There's 44 down there. Here's a restroom, and then here's getting back to the start of the campground. Okay, so I just finished walking every site here at Colonial Creek North Campground, North Cascades National Park, Diablo Lake. I started at the Colonial Creek south side. I did 64 through 164. Came over here to the north side. I just did 1 through 45. I don't really know where 45 to 64 is, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm sure there's an explanation. So let me give you my thoughts. I'm a little surprised. This is why I believe in what I call my own two eyes doctrine. Like, you can do all the fastidious research you want, and I know it's hard to imagine. I'm an OCD, I do a lot of research, but you never really know until you go come and walk an area yourself, hence my own two eyes doctrine. My takeaways, having physically been here for the first time, is different than what I was expecting coming in. That's a pretty common experience. That happened to me at Catches Lake, and it happened to me here. It seems to be a consistent theme. I thought for sure I would like the Colonial Creek south side better, particularly because of that bay from like 74 to 111 is right up against the shoreline. And if you go look online and look at the pictures, it's like, oh my gosh, your mouth is dropping and you're like, I can't believe those sites are right on Diablo Lake. That's incredible. But then when you go actually walk them, you realize that the pictures are deceiving. It's a little bit of a bait and switch, and the privacy lot lines are horrible. Like, I call them double and triple wishbone sites where there's no privacy whatsoever. It's like communal mosh pit camping, and for me that's a deal breaker. I prefer the kind of template of a private single family with, you know, privacy lot lines so that I can luxuriate with my family and be private. I'm not looking for like a communal social situation. So for me, that's a deal breaker. So even though a lot of those sites from like 74 to 111 were right on the shoreline and had good lake access, the privacy lot lines were so poor that that's a deal breaker. So over on the south side, maybe the best one was 111 because it was right on the edge of that before you get to the day use for the Thunder Creek trailhead for backpacking. But candidly, I didn't leave Colonial Creek south with a favorite site that's like, that's the one I got to come to. Then I came over here to Colonial Creek north, and I actually liked north better. So I guess I'm a north guy. North side over the south side. My favorite ones were 5, 6, 8, and 9. 5 and 6 are walk-in tent only. 6 was number 1, 5 was number 2. 6 was very much number 1. And then as far as car camping, the best 2 were 8 and 9. So if I was going to book, I'd probably book 8 or 9. I think those are the 2 best as far as a classic car camping model, decent privacy and lake access, shoreline. So 8 and 9, and then 5 and 6. Those 4 to me are destination worthy. I would make the effort to come to any of those. But beyond that, there's probably no other site here that I would seek out. That said, I'm a huge fan of North Cascades National Park. I think it is a premium, underrated national park. I love it. Can't believe it's free. Seems too good to be true. Love Diablo Lake. So I am a super fan of this area. My first time in this area, and I'm not leaving disappointed. The area delivers on the beauty and the nature and the wilderness and the hiking, and it's just an epic area. It's absolutely worth coming here, but maybe adjust your expectation on Colonial Creek south and north and realize it's more of a base camp situation. Most of the campsites are not idyllic. They really packed them in here national park style to maximize the revenue, or you could say maximize the number of people that can come to it, depending on how you look at it. But these aren't the dream campgrounds I was frankly hoping they were, but that's okay. It's still a beautiful area. And I do think this area is worth coming to explore. That concludes my review of Colonial Creek North and the South one. My first time here at North Cascades National Park, I am not disappointed. My first time here at Diablo Lake, I'm not disappointed. This area is gorgeous. Again, I can't believe it's a free national park. I am leaving a super fan, my friend. I'm loving this 3D topographical map. This is awesome. Look at that. Perfectly depicts the area we are standing in. I am digging this.